Behold, the factory. It's beautiful. At least, it will be one day. I've been working on this factory for a good chunk of time now. And some people tell me I build kind of big. And they like watching me because of it. I'm TheOnlyBearshark. I've been streaming on Twitch almost every day for the last month and a bit. And I used to stream mostly variety. And now I've just been streaming Satisfactory. I do plan on getting back to variety at some point. But for now, in the foreseeable future, I'm going to be playing Satisfactory. So if you want to continue seeing this build go further, you can pop by and hang out. We will also be having a trimmed down version of my playthrough being uploaded to YouTube. I'm fairly new to this, so they'll get better and better. I promise. Maybe. Anyways, we've been doing a lot. We've collected all of the bauxite on the map. That's what you see here. This is all Mark III miners and full Mark IV belts. It can have upgrades applied to it still, if we overclocked everything. We've made lots of supercomputers and radio control units. I'm planning on automating absolutely everything in the game to a point that some people think is unneeded, but I can't foresee myself doing less. It's been a journey, and I'm looking forward to continuing. My buildings are not really the prettiest, as far as I'm concerned, but people are always surprised by just the sheer size of them. So I guess that's one thing I've got going for me. This is only my second playthrough of Satisfactory, my first being when the game was first released, so it's almost completely different from when that happened. Here's a snapshot tidbit of part of the aluminum setup refinery. I wanted to make sure I had a lot of aluminum sheets so that I would never run out of conveyor belts, because that's the only thing we're using to transport resources. We have no trains. We have no drones. Everything is conveyor belts. And that's what you see those walkways up in the sky for. They are transporting all of our resources and bringing them basically back to this central location. Well, it's not really central, it's in the bottom southwest of the map. But this building was one of the first ones we made, which is why you saw just then there was a few empty floors, because I realized these floors aren't actually big enough for what I want to be doing. I thought I made it big enough because I made it really tall, but I needed them to be wider too. We have very efficient hypertube travel, which people absolutely love, to bring us over here to one of our main power setups until just recently, which we ventured into nuclear power, which you'll see later on. This side is being upgraded to turbo fuel. We've got packaged fuel being brought up because we used packaged diluted fuel, and then canisters being sent back down to continue the line. There's a lot of setup that was involved in this. This was all done before we had access to blenders, so that's why we used this recipe, because we also didn't have the alternate recipe that needed blenders, so I didn't even know it existed. But it worked out pretty good. There's one of our newer plastic and rubber setups with some added generators because we needed even more power to get ready for nuclear power. Gotta make power to get power. There's a decent amount of the rubber and the plastic coming out. We still have to have final product lines at the end to sync everything. I have a huge list of stuff that I want to do still in the game. This is one of our most recent projects that we just finished. It makes only 15,934 ingots a minute, iron ingots, and then turns some of those into steel ingots. So we have 5,850 steel ingots, and we also make 4,850 concrete here. So we end up pulling out 12,034.285 iron ingots per minute and 5,850 steel per minute, as well as the 4,850 concrete that we will probably and no doubt use up very shortly. It looks kind of like a circuit board, and I'm really happy with the product. I've had a lot of people ask me what the pinkish purple ones are for. That's so I can keep track of which ones are underclocked or overclocked. Those in this case are all underclocked. So it's easier for me to keep track of what I've done and balance the lines that are all coming out. So I can make sure everything's got a full 780, or if it doesn't, I can have it a different color. And then we brought these 30 conveyor belt lines all the way back to our base. Here's our nuclear setup, which is fully recycled properly, so we won't have any waste buildup. We definitely didn't have to go back and revisit that at all. It all worked perfectly, because everything always works perfectly here. Definitely. That's a nice little look at my base. I'm pretty proud of it from here. You can see a whole lot of it. And there's a lot more work to do. Some of the buildings aren't finished yet. Most of the buildings aren't finished yet. I do want to put lights everywhere. There's just so many things I want to still do in this game, and I'm excited to get to do it. But I look at what I've done, and I'm very proud, and I hope you like it too. If you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe. We'll have lots of these coming soon. Thanks for watching.